Starting tomorrow, you're going to need proof of vaccination to cross the border. We'll talk about how that will impact wait times.
Should kids be allowed to get vaccines without parental permission? Some lawmakers want that to be a reality.
Plus, Sheriff Bill Gore is retiring early. In his first interview since announcing he's leaving, we get answers as to why. And looking back on the life and musical legacy of Meatloaf. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
The United States is now requiring essential travelers to be fully vaccinated for border crossings starting tomorrow. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Before this, the requirement only applied to non-essential travelers. As CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes found out, the Border Patrol and those who cross the border say this will greatly impact wait times at points of entry to the U.S.
She joins us live with details on that. Kirsten, what's going on?
Hey guys, I'm here live at the San Ysidro border crossing. I want you to take a look behind me and get a look at this site. Some of these drivers, they tell me, have been waiting some 2 to 4 hours just to cross the border. And drivers say starting tomorrow, those wait times will get even longer.
Wait times were anywhere from 4 hours. I think one Friday night I did about 4 hours to cross.
Juan Berber is a truck driver. His wife lives in Mexico and he commutes across the border for work regularly.
I don't have any family life, basically. It's like my kids and my wife suffers a lot, but it's a sacrifice that we decided that we need to make. I've been doing it for a very long time. I'm very tired.
Juan says he's had to make accommodations like crossing at 1 and 2 a.m. just to beat the wait times, or
since I'm really close to the border, I just leave my truck across and I walk across. So I leave my truck in the United States and I walk across and I have my wife pick me up on the other side.
according to the New York Times, Mexico's vaccination rate was 60% on January 21st, and that's for those with just 2 shots. One says he understands that the U.S. is trying to stop the spread of COVID, but this is going to make a difficult situation a lot harder for a lot of people.
Mexico, the vaccine, it's not really available to that many people. I imagine the third one, it's going to be basically impossible for them.
We cannot compromise our national security, which is our primary mission.
Tucker Gordon is the Chief Public Information Officer for California Border Patrol San Diego. He says travelers should pack a lot of patience as they try to deal with the increase in wait times.
Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. Whatever you can do your best. Try not to travel during those high peak times. Also on Saturday and Sunday, 2 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Again, this all starts tomorrow, and ZBP says that you need to have your vaccination card ready to go at hand and all other necessary travel documents. And they also advise to be in the right travel lane that you're supposed to be in so that we can try to reduce the time that people have to wait in these travel lines. Reporting live for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Kirsten, anytime there's change, there's bound to be some confusion. Where can people go to see exactly what they need to cross the border and maybe help shorten some of those wait times?
Yeah, we wanted to do everything we could to help you out as you wanted to cross the border. So what we did was put a list of everything you need to know as we all adjust to the new guidelines on our website, cbs8.com. Just click on this story. We have everything you need.
All right, they can do a checklist there. Thanks so much, Kirsten.
The San Diego County Health is reporting 11,235 new COVID-19 cases tonight. That number is down from more than 14,000 yesterday. 7 more deaths are being reported. COVID hospitalizations, they dropped to under 1,300. Now, to help ease the strain on hospitals, health officials are recommending and asking that only people who really need emergency care go to an ER.
It is a controversial proposal, but it could soon be legal for children ages 12 and older to get the COVID-19 vaccine without parental permission.
Our political reporter Morgan Reiner spoke with the lawmaker behind that bill.
Senator Scott Wiener told me that his goal is not to take away rights from any parents, but at the end of the day, he says he also wants to protect the lives of children. Now, Republican Assembly member Kevin Kiley told me that Wiener, he can word it however he wants, but taking away parents' rights is exactly what he says Wiener is doing. Democrat Scott Wiener introduced SB 866, which would allow kids 12 and older to get any vaccine without permission, as long as it is FDA approved.
Almost 1 million 12 to 17-year-olds in California are not vaccinated for COVID. A lot of these kids want to be vaccinated, but either their parents won't let them or their parents just aren't prioritizing it.
To parents who believe he's taking away their rights, his message is this.
Of course, we want parents to be involved in their kids' lives and their kids' healthcare choices. And overwhelmingly, that's going to continue to happen. But for that group of kids who are being harmed by their parents' decisions to not let them protect themselves, we should let those kids take actions to protect their own lives.
If the bill passes, only Washington, D.C. would allow for kids younger than 12 to get vaccinated without parental permission.
California already allows 12-year-olds to consent to some vaccines for HPV or for hepatitis C. 12-year-olds can also consent to get birth control and other reproductive health services.
Well, he's assuming that all of those are good things, which is not necessarily the case. And when it comes to, most other medical procedures and treatments, there does need to be parental consent. And so on this issue, which is a highly personal one, it is absolutely one that should involve parents.
Republican Assemblymember Kevin Kiley said he will fight this till the end.
It's not the role of the legislature, of the governor, of the government to simply cut parents out of the equation.
Lots of questions that parents still have, like what happens if a kid has an adverse reaction? Well, Weiner told me that's extremely rare, but in the rare chance it does happen, he says that the nurses administering the vaccines are trained to handle situations just like that.
All right, Morgan, thank you. Meantime, the Omicron variant is continuing its rapid spread across the U.S. New numbers from the CDC show unvaccinated Americans ages 50 to 64 are 44 times more likely to end up in the hospital than the same age group that is vaccinated and boosted. There is some good news. Infection rates are dropping in areas where the Omicron wave first hit. New York's governor says that state's COVID positivity rate is under 10% for the first time in a month.
San Diego County is drying out from some recent rain. The Santa Anas are picking up this weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis is here now with a first look at your microclimate forecast. Carlene, I could feel a little of that wind late this afternoon.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up out there, and that's going to be the case as we go all the way into the rest of the weekend. So really talking about these Santa Ana winds, stronger than the last event that we had, which was just yesterday. It was more of a breeze yesterday as we had some gusts into the teens and 20s. But now we're talking about wind speeds picking up into the 30s and 40s, and there is a wind advisory. The difference is yesterday this was starting at midnight, but now we're talking about 10 p.m. and that's across the inland valleys as well as the mountains. So this will be an issue as we go into the start of the weekend because you are looking at some pretty high wind gusts. Purple shades indicating gusts into the 50s potentially and even the 40s, but really 40s seem to win out around 45 miles per hour. That will be right along the coastal mountain slopes. You're also seeing the 20s as well as the 30s, and that will keep going all the way into the morning hours. The strongest winds are expected tonight through tomorrow morning. As we hit the afternoon, you're starting to see those winds come down just a little bit more, but it's not until we hit about Sunday morning we start to have more of a difference, get calmer, and then we go in the opposite direction as we go into the start of the week. More details coming up. Carlo?
Thanks, Carlene. Ali Abulaban, the TikTok star accused of shooting his wife and another man in an East Village high-rise, was back in court today for a status conference. Preliminary hearings will continue Monday morning. The judge is expected to decide then if there's enough evidence for the case to go to trial. Abulaban is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the death of his estranged wife and her friend back in October.
A woman who pleaded guilty for her role in the robbery and killing of a business store owner in the East Village was sentenced today.
Lorena Espinoza was sentenced to 16 years to life in prison for second-degree murder in the shooting death of Tony Rada back in October of 2018. Prosecutors say Espinoza walked into bottom price flooring disguised in a wig and led Rada to the back of the store where he was shot and killed by Kevin Cartwright. Cartwright is charged with murder and is still awaiting trial.